Hey everyone, welcome to Crypto Conversation, and this is your host Shiv. Thank you everyone for coming back. So once again, RBI has went ahead and said that listen, we are not responsible for your cryptocurrency funds. There are risks involved with it, and we don't take any responsibility for your cryptocurrency funds. They removed a circular once again yesterday, and this was a continuation of the same, or probably a reiteration of the same circular which was published back in 2013, exactly the same thing. And there is a strong reason why this was needed. This was much needed, and I'll tell you why this was needed, right? So we'll go through this news. At the same time, we'll also have a look at the coinmarketcap.com, and we will also have a look at the news of why Nasdaq, CME and CBOE all wants to get into Bitcoin futures. So as you guys know, CME has announced Bitcoin futures from 16th, CBOE has announced Bitcoin futures from 10th, and then Nasdaq starting Bitcoin futures sometime in the next year, earlier. So let's go ahead and get started. Once again, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on important updates that we do on cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, ICOs, new developments, market sentiments. Welcome again. So let's start with the coinmarketcap.com. As you can see, the price of a Bitcoin has slightly gone up once again. This is the all-time high for Bitcoin, 12,417. Last time, the last high was about 11,700 something. This is the new high. And especially this news is coming out because of these three major players announcing their Bitcoin futures, including Ledger X announcing the Bitcoin derivatives and things like that. A lot of institutional investors coming into this space. You have Ethereum at $450, Bitcoin Cash at 1493, slightly down by 4%. And then IOTA is beating all of them right now. It's gone up to $4.54. All right, it's up by 77% now. I'm pretty surprised to see this IOTA growing at this point in time. I don't see why it is growing up so far. But you know, the cryptocurrencies are volatile and risky, as this letter says. So yes, so this is one of those things. And of course, the total market cap now crossing 350 billion to now it's about 366 billion, with Bitcoin dominance of 57% almost, guys. I think the Bitcoin is dominating because of these institutional investors coming into this space. All right, so let's start with this letter here. So the circular that was out yesterday. It says Reserve Bank cautions regarding risk of virtual currencies, including Bitcoin. So attention of all members of public is drawn to the press release issued by the Reserve Bank of India, RBI, December 24, 2013, cautioning users, holders, and traders of virtual currencies. Now, they are referring to this letter here, and which was published in December 24, 2013. And obviously, in spite of this letter, in spite of RBI, circulating this letter, the demand for Bitcoin in India has really gone high. Now, I can tell you why I think so, because if you look at the price of a Bitcoin in India, it is being sold at a premium price. Now, the global price for the Bitcoin is about $12,215 right now. Even on the coinmarketcap.com, it's about 12,400. But if you look at the price of the ZPay, one of the leading exchange in India, and others like Unocoin or Coinex and other things, you will see the price is being sold at a premium price. So obviously, the fact is there is more demand for Bitcoin in India compared to other countries so far, and I think this is why the RBI has come out with the circular again, saying that they must have seen the demand for Bitcoin here in India. I mean, it is a very expensive asset. We are talking about 8.5-9 lakh a Bitcoin, which is probably more expensive than what gold is. And this is when RBI thought that, okay, let me just put out the circulars as saying that this is again a risky thing that you are making. RBI has not regulated anything as yet. They are still working on how they can regulate. So as you can see here, the Reserve Bank has also stated that it is presently examining the issue associated with the uses, holding and trading of VCs under the extent legal of regulatory framework of country, including foreign exchange of payment system. So they are still working on the regulation right since 2013. It's been 4 years now. They're still working on the framework. But in the meantime, the demand for Bitcoin in India has really shot up, and that is also because of these institutional investors in US, in other countries coming into picture, and of course, Bitcoin being the global commodity. People are actually, there are new people who are entering into the space right now. So one of the reasons why this letter was out, once again it was published yesterday, is because there have been new players who are entering into the space, hearing this news about Nasdaq and all those, and maybe they would not know as to what is the status of Bitcoin, right? Maybe they would not know what has been said in the past, back in 2013. So I think this letter was very, very important from RBI, telling people that, listen, we have not regulated as it, and please understand the risk involved with the Bitcoin and other virtual cryptocurrencies. So I think this was much needed, especially for the new player, for sure, who are getting into the space. Now, of course, they have also mentioned that if you're investing into Bitcoin on other cryptocurrencies, you are responsible for your funds. We are not responsible. You are taking that risk involved. So this is basically a warning again to, of course, to the old people who are already involved, and for all the new people who are getting into this space right now because of this news from across the globe. So this is what the letter says about. Of course, there are some articles in the newspapers today as well. In the Times Group, RBI rings alarm bells on Bitcoin, cautions investors. Again, just making the investor cautious that, listen, if you're doing something, do it at your own risk. We are not responsible for your cryptocurrency funds. There is risk involved, and please understand the risk that is involved into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So, but let's see, it will be interesting to see when are they able to draw some regulations, considering what is happening in the other part of the world, like Korea, Japan and Australia, and even US now regulating this institutional investor to go ahead and trade Bitcoin futures. It will be interesting to see when India comes up with a solid decision on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So that's the news right now, guys. It's quite clear from RBI that if you are dealing into cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, please take the responsibility yourself. They are not responsible, right, if anything goes wrong. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Please do leave your comment, your views in the comment below about this news here, about this circular, and feel free to subscribe if you have not. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. See you. Take care.